Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Social Quiztancing Week 5. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Ryan Biracree. I'm the Digital Services Coordinator at the Desmond-Fish Public Library, and this is my home. And I'm coming to you, presumably, in your home, because that's where we all are now. So this is the 5th week of our tiny little quiz, Social Quiztancing, where we do a bit of trivia. To keep you kind of occupied and keep your brain tested and happy during the quarantine. So today I have 15 questions for you, as always. We begin each quiz with 5 general knowledge questions, 5 connections questions, where I give you 4 apparently random clues and you tell me what the hidden connection is, and 5 clues from a special round this week. It's a heroes round where I give you some titles of fictional characters and you tell me what they are. So let's get started. Let's get started with the general knowledge round. As always, also tell us how you're doing in these quiz. If you want to let us know how many points you got and how you're liking the quiz, all that kind of stuff, please let us know. If you have ideas for quiz questions that you might want to submit, and I'll read them on the show, please send them to me at ryan@desmondfishlibrary.org, or just DM them to us on Facebook or Instagram. I'm broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram, so you'll see me go from camera to camera with some of these materials. Cool. Okay, so first question in the general knowledge round. In astronomy, what is a plunet? Ploonet. What is a plunet? Okay. The first question. Second question. What unusual meal is the focus of the theme song of the TV show Frasier? What unusual meal appears in the theme song of the TV show Frasier? Late lamented TV show Frasier. Okay. Third question. In the Star Wars movies, we meet 5 members of the Skywalker family. Name them all. You can give yourself 1 point for getting all of them. If you feel like challenging yourself, you can also give yourself a point for each. So these are blood relations only. Blood relations of the Skywalker family. There are 5 of them. Name them. All right. Next question in the general knowledge round, question 4. What is the only animal with 4 forward-facing knees? The only animal with 4 forward-facing knees. Think about it. Might get it. It's not an obscure. You'd see it in the zoo. The only animal with 4 forward-facing knees. Okay. Last one. What is the plural of cul-de-sac? What is the plural of cul-de-sac? Okay, and that brings us to round 2, the connections round. I will give you 4 apparently random clues, and you tell me the hidden connection between those 4 clues. So if I told you scarab, dung, beetle, or scarab, dung, carpet, and Ringo, you would tell me that they are all beetles. They're all kinds of beetles. Okay. So I'll show you these clues in order. Give yourself 5 points if you get it after the first clue. 3 points if you get it after the second clue, 2 points if you get it after the third clue, and 1 point if you get it after seeing all of the clues. Or give yourself however many points you want, because it doesn't matter. Okay. First question. Figure, spear, plumage, and slime. What is the connection between those 4 clues? Figure, spear, plumage, and slime. Next one. Theropods Ceratopsians, Sauropods, and hadrosaurs. Theropods, Ceratopsians, Sauropods, and hadrosaurs. What's the connection between those four clues? Next one. Polly Nichols, Annie Chapman, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. What's the connection between those four clues? They're all connected, but how? Number 4. Connections round. Isabelle Blathers, Mabel Abel, and Tom Nook. What is the connection between those four things? Next one. Last question in the connections round. Bake urine into a cake, feed it to a dog. So bake urine into a cake, feed it to a dog. Search for her third nipple. Weigh her against a stack of Bibles. And 4, throw her in a lake. You see that? Bake urine into a cake and feed it to a dog. Search for her third nipple. Weigh her against a stack of Bibles. And throw her in a lake. What is the connection between those 4 things? Okay. And remember, I'll give you the answers after all of this. So, okay. The last round, we're calling the heroes round or the titles round. I'm going to give you a title to someone, a title that someone possesses. And you tell me the character that has that title. So if I said to you, if the clue was the unburnt breaker of chains, mother of dragons, etc., 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 that would be, your answer would be Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. So that's basically what we're going for. The title, I'm going to give you the title that the character possesses. You tell me what character has those titles. Okay? Good. So, first title is Princess of Power. Who is the Princess of Power? Number 2. Sorcerer Supreme. What fictional character is known as the Sorcerer Supreme? Third one. The world's greatest detective. Who is the world's greatest detective? 4, the boy who lived. Tell me who that is. The boy who lived. And last one, Vice President of East Coast Television and Microwave Oven Programming. Vice President of East Coast Television and Microwave Oven Programming. Who is that? All you have to do for that round is tell me which fictional character possesses those titles. Okay, so if you're just joining us, or if you want to go back and look at the answers again, or if you want to wait and figure them out and come back later, I'm about to read you the answers. So stick around if you want to see the answers. If not, this is your time to pause or step away or what have you. Okay, so let's go back to the general knowledge round, and I'll give you the answer. So I asked you, the first question was, in astronomy, what is a plunet? Well, a plunet is a moon that breaks away from its planet and becomes its own planet. So it's a moon that breaks away from its planet and becomes its own planet. It's called a plunet. A word I'm extremely fond of. It's spelled Ploonet, and that makes me very happy. Okay, the next question I asked you was, what unusual meal appears in the theme song of the TV show Frasier? And if you remember that, it is tossed salad and scrambled eggs, which I think is actually the title of that song. I won't sing it to you now, but please, if you're with your family, please give them a rendition of tossed salad and scrambled eggs if you happen to know it. All right, the next one I asked you was, in the Star Wars movies, we meet 5 members of the Skywalker family, blood relations only. Name them. So why not give yourself a little point for each one? Why not? So there's, of course, Luke Skywalker and his sister, spoilers, Leia, Organa. And then when you go back to the prequels, there's Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, but we also meet his mother, Shmi Skywalker. Those prequels happened. Then in the sequels, which also happened, there is Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren. Those are the only blood relatives of the Skywalker family that we meet in those movies. Then I asked you, what is the only animal with forward-facing knees? The only animal with forward-facing knees, the only animal with 4 forward-facing knees, we have forward-facing knees, obviously, but we don't have 4 of them, is the elephant. The elephant, surprisingly, is the only animal with 4 forward-facing knees. Cool little fact. I happen to like that fact, so I read it to you. And then I asked you, what is the plural of cul-de-sac? And that is cul-de-sac. So cul-de-sac translates to bottom of the bag or bottom of the sack. And cul-de-sac would be bottoms of the sack, I suppose. But cul-de-sac is the proper plural of cul-de-sac. So, important if you're ever talking about cul-de-sac, I guess. All right. Then I gave you the connections round, where I give you 4 clues, and you tell me what connects them. The first one I read to you was figure, spear, plumage, and slime. And the connection between those 4 is that they all have a hidden fruit inside. You have fig, pear, plum, and lime. So all of them have a hidden fruit within those clues. Okay, next one I read to you. Theropods Ceratopsians, sauropods, and hadrosaurs. Those are all types of dinosaur, just types of dinosaur. Theropods include most of the classic meat-eating dinosaurs like raptors and tyrannosaurs and stuff like that. Ceratopsians, like the name implies, are Triceratops, Protoceratops, all those things. Sauropods are the big Brontosaurus-like creatures, long necks, big bodies, and hadrosaurs are duckbills. Next, I read you Polly Nichols, Annie Chapman, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Those are 4 of the 5 canonical victims of Jack the Ripper. Polly Nichols, Annie Chapman, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly, who was the canonical 5th victim. I've left out Liz Stride, but there are some people who think that she's not a canonical victim. That was the double event. Anyway, let's stop talking about Jack the Ripper for a second. That's who they are. Lastly, I gave you Isabelle Blathers, Mabel Abel, and Tom Nook. And if you, like everybody else in America, is playing Animal Crossing during quarantine, you would know that these are characters from Animal Crossing. Right. How's your island doing? I'm building a library on mine. Share your islands. Okay. The last clues I gave you, the final question in the connections round, is bake urine into a cake and feed it to a dog, search for her third nipple, weigh her against a stack of Bibles, and throw her in a lake. It was, of course, ways to determine if someone is a witch. The first clue, bake her urine into a cake and feed it to a dog, was something called a witch cake. And they would take urine from the victim of witchcraft, bake it into a cake, and then feed it to a dog. If the dog dies, it means that person's been poisoned by a witch. So not lovely for the dog, and not lovely for whoever needs to bake urine into a cake, but probably worse for the dog. And probably worse for the witch, honestly. A person suspected of being a witch. Okay. Lastly, the special round this week, I gave you some titles of fictional characters, and you were supposed to tell me who those titles belong to. The first one, Princess of Power, is She-Ra. She-Ra, Princess of Power. A sort of version of He-Man Masters of the Universe, the spin-off of that, marketed towards girls. But funnily enough about the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is it's not clear who the Masters of the Universe is. That's not a title that belongs to any particular character. He-Man himself is not a master. It's not the master of the universe. He may be a... I don't even know, really. I think that movie was just about toys. Regardless, I was a child. It was cool. I learned about toys, I think. Okay. Next, I gave you Sorcerer Supreme. That was Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch. Doctor Strange. Next, the world's greatest detective. Now, I bet people said Sherlock Holmes, but the world's greatest detective is actually Batman. That was that's why DC Comics is Detective Comics. He was billed as a detective. That was his draw for a while. He was the world's greatest detective, which has sort of bled out of the Batman idea, but still in comics you'll see Batman, world's greatest detective. And lastly, I gave you Vice President of East Coast Television and Microwave Oven Programming. It is, of course, the inimitable Jack Donaghy from 30 Rock. Microwave. Thank you to Shineheart Wigs. Okay, so that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. As always, let me know how you did. If you have quiz questions you want me to read on the show, shoot me a message or an email at ryan@desmondfishlibrary.org. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful night. Bye, everybody. Stay safe, wash your hands, and say hello to somebody who needs it. Bye.